Hey, what's going on? This is uh, Isolate with You, a new YouTube series that I'm starting, which is strange. I never thought I'd be a YouTuber, but we'll see what's going on. My name is Kevin Deers, and if you enjoy this recording, then maybe go back and check out the last one I did with Brian McClellan from Fucked and Bound, and from He Whose Ox is Gored. I also did one with Brian Ortiz from Zabulba. But right now I'm talking with Darin Wall from a couple killer bands, from the band that he's actually wearing the t-shirt of, Skelator, and from Greyhawk. Darin, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. All things considered. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm kind of holed up here in the cave, the bedroom, kind of just doing the whole
Nice.
stay-at-home thing. But you've been deemed essential, my friend. You are on the job. What is this essential task that you provide for the world?
So I work in, just to put it simply, I work in fire safety. So
Oh,
I do building inspections, specializing in kitchen fire suppression equipment. Today I was working with the Salvation Army, getting their trucks up and ready to go for our makeshift hospital that's coming in at Shoreline, which will have 1,000 beds for people. So it is. I mean, we do have to isolate, but some of us have to get out there and fight this thing on the front lines, right? So that's kind of what I'm
absolutely,
trying to
man.
do.
Dude, that's really intense. But how did everything go with the Salvation Army today? I saw your post, and that's really incredible that they're going to be using that for a temporary hospital.
Yeah, well, this that truck's going to be feeding our doctors and nurses on the front lines, where they're going to have. I guess it's going to be set up somewhere in Edmond Shoreline or something like that. And yeah, they just had that truck, and it had some fire suppression equipment from like the '90s, so it needed a complete overhaul and update. So that's what I was doing all morning, is just getting that thing up to code and making sure it was safe for our people to go out there and help out and fight the good fight.
Absolutely, man. And that's important work. I'm stoked that you're. I'm not stoked that you have to work. That sucks. But at the same time, like, it's good that there's people like you that are willing to do that and to literally risk your lives at this point. So how are you holding up? I've seen your posts about accountability and stuff, about doing home
Mhm.
workouts and whatnot. How are you holding up, like, mentally? Are
Yeah.
you doing okay?
Yeah, like everyone, there's good days and bads, right? Some days are just fine. Some days it's really tough. It's tough to not see my bandmates. It's tough not to play bass guitar really loud. It's tough to not go hang out in Georgetown with all my friends and
Hmm.
all that kind of fun stuff. It's tough not to go to gigs. I'm sure you feel the same way about that one. But yeah, it's just a matter of making the most of it, looking at this downtime as a time for self improvement. I mean, I can't go to the gym. I'm a gym junkie. I have to lift weights every day. So getting creative and, making dip stations around the house with, kitchen tables and chairs and whatnot, and, improvising. It's kind of fun. It's harder to get motivated at home because, all your fun toys are around and you can just get distracted. Whereas the gym is like, you get in, God, I just want to go there, get done, get out as soon as
Yep.
possible. So it's a little easier to stay focused there. But it's just I like to post about it every night just to keep myself accountable. Then if I don't make a post, everyone knows I slacked off.
Yeah, man. You gotta. Everyone else will hold you accountable too. So
Exactly. That's the point. And maybe just we're all in this together, and some people, I think maybe need to hear some ideas or inspiration and say, hey man, this isn't the end of all things. We can still do a lot of cool stuff even though we're stuck in a weird situation.
yeah, I would agree, man. And what would you suggest your like go to best home workout for anyone that wants to really just let go some of them aggression and just get a good pump at home?
So here's the funny thing that I did. I'm a home brewer,
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
I have kegs at home. So I've been filling the kegs up with water and just using those as barbells, dumbbells, and just throwing them around. And you know, everything short of a keg toss in the backyard I've been doing, but I've been using them for overhead presses, bicep curls, squats, deadlifts, whatever, just if I want to do a heavy deadlift, I'll just grab 4 of them at a time and just go for it. So that's kind of the most creative thing I've done so far to get through, but just use what you have, look around you. If you have 2 chairs, that's a dip station. If you have 2 chairs and some form of like a shovel or something, that could be a pull-up bar.
Yep.
You just got to make do with what you got.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Get creative. Get necessity breeds creativity. Is what I've been saying this week. But I mean, we're kind of burying the lead here, dude. You guys got a big announcement today on the Greyhawk. Officially, you guys are going to be on Fighter Records out of Spain. Keepers of the Flame is your new album. You guys announced it. You debuted a track today, right?
Yes, we did. It's a one called "Don't Wait for the Wizard." It's kind of how to describe it. It's just old school metal. It's really fun. It's really positive. It's kind of like I showed it to Jason from Skeletor, and he was like, "Is this a Striker song?" And I was like, "Hey, that's a huge compliment because Striker for us."
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, we put that out today, and people have been pretty stoked so far.
That's really cool, man. And how long has how long have you had to keep this information like kind of at bay and keep it to yourselves like a secret?
Well, the signing happened in January, I want to say.
Nice.
We finished up. We started recording. This album went pretty quick, actually. We started recording in October, finished up in December. I started shopping it late December. We had a few offers, a lot of rejections because that's the way it always goes.
Yeah.
A million people are going to say no. You just need one person to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy Dave from Fighter, who also runs a death metal label called Extreme Music out of Spain too, who put out a lot of really cool albums. They were called Repulsed Records in the 90s.
Cool.
And they put out, I remember them because they put out the first couple Deeds of Flesh records way back in the day.
Hell yeah.
So he was just the most enthusiastic about it. He's like, this album rules. I want to put it out. I don't want to play around with negotiations. We'll do CD, we'll do vinyl, we'll do all this fun stuff. And let's just make a record, guys. So we were like, yeah, all right. And he just seemed, sometimes you just want someone in your corner that really likes what you do more than anything. Yeah. So we believe in him, and he's in a couple metal bands himself, so we trust him. He's a musician as well. He's not out to take our money. So I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. It's cool to have somebody that's kind of like on your level and is a artist. That's neat, man. That's cool.
Yeah, he definitely has a different perspective than some label guys I've met before and worked with, because he knows what he wants, which is going to be similar to what other people who are in his position want, right? So it's really cool, and having all those years of experience too. He's been doing it since 1993 or something. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow, damn, dude. That's been a long time coming. So the new single is out now. And are you cool with me attaching it to the end of this little interview here?
Yes, please do.
All right, man. So stay tuned to the end of the interview. I'm going to attach that. And you know what? Don't sue me because I got the permission right here. This is a binding contract. What are you drinking, by the way? Is that your home brew? I don't think it is.
No, this is a Cosmic Waves IPA from Silver City. Good local stuff.
Oh, from Bremerton.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. They're great. They make great beer, and it's one of the things I like in a brewery is that when they make a good, affordable product that's readily available. I mean, lots of breweries make the super fancy stuff, and that's cool too. But I don't want to line up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday to buy it before it's sold out. So
right.
If I can get it and it's delicious and it's at the grocery store, I'm good.
So you're a beer aficionado, but you're not a beer snob.
Correct. I'll drink. We drink Tecate Light in band practice, so whatever.
Cool. So let's get a little bit a history of you, man. Let's get some. Let's go back to the journey of how little Darin got into metal. What was kind of like your light bulb moment, dude? Like when did you? And I'm assuming you probably didn't start out of the womb listening to Hammer Smash Face. What was the kind of like the spotlight? Like when did you wake up to underground music?
Well, there's a couple of key moments I can pinpoint, and it's one of them was when I was 6 years old, and I'm from Canada originally, so we were watching a music video show. It was called Video Hits up there, and back in the day on the CBC. and the video for "I Love It Loud" by Kiss came on, and I
Nice.
was like, man, that wasn't like anything I'd ever seen. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So I love Kiss from a very, very early age, and from there I got into hard rock, like Van Halen, AC/DC, and all that stuff. And then the next one was in high school. I'd saved all my money. I'd worked all summer, and I saved up enough money for a 5-disc CD changer,
Uh-oh.
dual cassette and FM radio stereo unit, right? Like, which was the Ducks nuts back in the day.
Oh my
Right?
God.
So
Yeah.
I had all this money, and yeah, and I was like, and I had no more money for CDs, but my dad was really proud. He said, "Here, have some money. Go down to the record store, buy a couple CDs." So I knew I was going to buy an AC/DC album, so I picked one of those up. I don't remember which one, but the guy at the record store was like, "Hey, man, you like metal? Why don't you just pick something out of the metal section you've never heard before? Take a chance on something." And
That's
I
always good.
bought.
Yeah.
I don't know why I bought it. I don't. There's no particular reason or background, but I bought Black Sabbath's "We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll," the greatest hits thing. I don't know why. I just bought it. And
Mhm.
then on the way home, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, why did I buy this? This is stupid. I should have bought another AC/DC record or something. I'm just going to play this once and probably put it away, and that'll be that. So I hit the random play button. It lands right on Iron Man, and
Yes.
my brain melted. Like,
Yeah.
it was just, my jaw was on the floor. I didn't know you could make music like that. And it's what I was looking for. I didn't know I was looking for it, but I was so obsessed with that riff that, because I had you couldn't, there's no Discmans back then. I had a Walkman, so I dubbed a tape that was Iron Man on side A all the way through, and Iron Man on side B all the way through, so I could walk around at school and just listen to that song on repeat and just have my mind blown over and over and over again. And that from there it was on to War Pigs, then Fairies Wear Boots, and NIB, and on and on and on, one song at a time. It took me a year to get through that album. I was just flabbergasted by how it sounded.
Wow.
So
Dude.
that was kind of my intro to that. And then, Pantera kind of taught me more about extreme music, that music could sound harsh and awesome at the same time. Hell yeah, dude, there it is. But it taught me that music could be really aggressive, like really aggressive.
Yeah.
Which then leads to Slayer, which then leads into Morbid Angel and death metal and black metal, and then kind of comes full circle back to getting into more melodic stuff. Like, I didn't get into kind of Maiden and Priest until later, but then that led into power metal and just liking everything.
Well, I saw you at the Ross the Boss show getting your Man of War vinyl signed by Ross the Boss, man. That
Yeah.
must have been a pretty cool moment, like opening for Ross the Boss, right?
Oh, dude, it was full circle because, in 2019, me and Jason from Skeletor went to Germany to see Man of War.
That's awesome.
So we went over there and saw them, and of course Ross isn't playing with them no more. And then to come back here and be able to open with them, not just in Seattle, but in Vancouver, BC as well, 2 nights in a row. And just to hear him play some of those old classics, like, I never thought I'd hear Bridge of Death live, like by Man of War or anyone else, but they
so
played
good.
it, and his band was amazing too, man. Like,
yeah,
that bass, is that the bassist from Symphony X or something he had, I think.
I couldn't tell you, but I wouldn't be surprised.
He was phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal, and their singer was great, and yeah, I was really blown away by it.
That's awesome, man. So you said you originally grew up in Canada. Oh, what province?
British Columbia.
And what brought you to Seattle?
Marriage. Like, I met my wife in 2015, and we dated long distance across the border for a while, and then decided, well, we either got to kind of put up or shut up because we're going to have to live in the same city eventually. And I was really falling in love with Seattle. I love Canada and I miss a lot of things about it, but I really fell in love with the city when I was coming down here. The music scene and the beer scene, the food scene, and just how everyone's just really cool. I'm a big neighborhood guy, so hanging out in Georgetown, the South End, really struck a chord with me. I love the vibe down there. And Seattle's just a great place to be. So
Georgetown, that's your neighborhood, huh?
Yes, sir.
Right on, man. Best place to eat in Georgetown, what would you say?
Ooh, there's a lot. So I'd say the two The best place to eat is Fonda La Catrina, I think. They're Mexican. That food is amazing. And we don't have Mexican food in Canada, right? So, I mean,
Oh,
people
okay.
tell me that it's like, we don't have Mexican food in Seattle. I'm like, man, you don't know what not having Mexican food's all about. Go north of the border, nothing. There's the odd taco time up there. That's about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's that. And best places to drink are Full Throttle bottles in the 9 Pound Hand. It's a great neighborhood.
That's awesome, man. Well, you are a busy dude. Not only do you have a pretty intense day job, but you also are about to release the Greyhawk record. Tell me a little bit about. So last year, Skeletor, you guys finally released Cyber Metal, which is a kick-ass record. How long were you guys working on that one?
Oh God, that was a while. I mean, Skeletor, when I joined them, were kind of doing the rotating door of bassists. They had
Sure.
a couple guys in and out, and they'd been writing that album since Rob was in the band. So that was 2 bassists ago. I mean, they've been
Ra's my
writing those
upstairs
songs.
neighbor. He lives right there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Rob's a great guy.
Hi, Ra.
But, but they were writing that, and he was still in the band, which was a couple of years by the time I joined. And you know, they've just been going at it for a long time. So when I joined, it was kind of like, okay, we gotta put our heads down and get this thing out there, because you know, at that point, it had been 3 years since King of Fear. So we really had to buckle down. And you know, it's an interesting thing when a band has songs that have been sitting around for that long. You know, and me coming in, they're new for me, but they're not for those guys. So they're kind of like, oh, we just got to get this done. But in the end, everyone really rallied, and I think we did a really good job of recording that one. The enthusiasm on it is really good. The energy is really good. And I'm hella proud of that record, man. I think it's great.
Dude, it's a kick-ass record. I actually need to dig in a little bit more. Now that I have some more time and I'm not just like focused on my day job, I have more time to revisit some killer records from last year. I think I need to do that. So,
yeah, for sure. There's some I need to dig into as well.
Yeah, what have you been digging, man? I know you stay, relatively up to date with new stuff. I would assume. Like, what are some bands that you've been digging? What's on your playlist? For the last
There's
couple
a
weeks
couple
or month.
really wicked doom records that have come out. The last Crypt Sermon record was awesome, man. It was like really old school Candlemass style doom done really.
What was the band?
Well. Crypt Sermon.
Oh yeah, that's a killer record, man. That's a killer record.
That one's really good. There's a band I got into recently called Smolder. They're from Canada. And
Okay, I've heard the name.
An EP as well. Yeah, they're really good. It's another doom band. And oh god, this is killing me because the name's slipping my mind. It'll come back to me. But there's another doomier band from Boise that I heard recently, and they have a really interesting take on the genre. It's a little more melodic, a little more atmospheric, but the name will come to me. It's on the tip of my tongue.
We'll come back. We'll circle back to that.
In a couple questions, I'll be like, "Hey, that band is called."
So something else you've been doing to with all your downtime is you've been watching WrestleManias. Are you doing the full rewatch? Because you started with WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2, WrestleMania 3. Are you just gonna go all the way up through it?
Yeah, I'm on 5 now, man. I'm partway through 5. It's been really interesting revisiting those old school matches, man, because they're short. You know,
yeah.
Back in the day, everything was all about. It was the spectacle, right? It was the big man. You know, they had a lot of like 3-minute matches, possibly because these guys were so huge they blow up after 2.5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but it was but it was interesting. Like they put a lot more time into developing personas and characters. Like WrestleMania 1, King Kong Bundy came out and he wrestled Special Delivery Jones and squashed him in like a minute and a half, right? And it's like the next year he's in the main event against Hogan, right? So they were already building him for that spot against Hogan a year prior at WrestleMania.
Isn't that crazy?
It seems like they don't really do that anymore. They just kind of storylines jump around a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, my question for you
it's really.
Are you going to be watching WrestleMania 36 with no audience this Saturday and Sunday, live from the WWE Performance Center, empty? So we've heard of the Attitude Era and the Golden Era. Now it's the empty arena era.
The empty era, yeah. I'm definitely not going to miss that. I'm super intrigued.
Right?
Um, I mean, I'm gonna be here anyway, but I'm super intrigued as to what's that going to be like because the Raws and Smackdowns with it empty have been. I think AEW has done a bit of a better job with the empty arena.
I
I
would
gotta
agree.
say, like they have some of the guys around ringside, and they've kind of turned it into a bit of a party with the other wrestlers out there
Hmm.
and stuff. But I think their guys have done a better job with it. Maybe because it's in a bigger arena and it has kind of that open air feeling too.
Oh yeah.
The WWE's that some of the guys have done well with it. Some of them really struggle. Like I watched that promo Kevin Owens cut the other week. He was having a real hard time with the crowd not being there.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. Playing a show to 6 people is a lot harder than playing it to 600. So I totally get where they're coming from. But it's an interesting experiment, and it kind of like I think the guys that have gone through NXT are going to do okay because they've probably had to do that a lot before in their
Indie
training.
crowds and
So they
stuff.
probably had to cut. Yeah, they've had to come out and cut promos to that empty room before. So they're probably going to do okay. But the guys that haven't, I mean, they're probably going to have a bit of a hard time.
Well, the thing that happened today is Roman Reigns isn't going to be in the match anymore, so it's going to be Goldberg versus to be determined. Roman Reigns is out of the match. He did not feel comfortable. As you're familiar, he did. I'm sure you're familiar. He had leukemia and he beat leukemia, but because of that, he's immunocompromised. Wrestling
Smart.
during this time with that kind of immune system is not probably a very smart thing to do, and he didn't feel comfortable. So we'll see who Goldberg faces. Maybe it'll be Goldberg versus Gilberg.
Maybe. I mean, he's definitely too old now. But I mean, Bret Hart had some not nice things to say about Goldberg on Steve Austin's podcast the other day. So
Uh-oh.
he basically said, "For that, did you see that?
I
With
haven't seen that yet.
Broken Skull sessions." Oh, he basically said, "For that guy to be in the Hall of Fame after he injured so many people is a straight up disgrace."
Oh my
So
God.
he had some real not nice things to say about him. So I don't know. Maybe Bret's coming out of retirement for
Oh
one
my
match.
God. Can you imagine? Holy crap. That would be Bret Hart. Somebody would get hurt. Bret Hart versus Goldberg. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Well,
what are your what's your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling then?
my top 4?
Yeah.
Oh, well, being Canadian, I have to put Brett up there for sure.
Okay.
And I'll actually put Owen up there as well because he was always one of my favorites growing up, and I thought
Hmm.
Owen was an amazing technical wrestler who never really got his due. I put Steamboat up there,
Yeah.
um, and mm, let's see, what's the tough call? I guess you got to put Flair up there too. For me, those are probably my
Woo!
top 4. Yeah.
All right. Well, then going along with
I
that.
was always a.
Sorry, but what was that?
Go ahead.
Oh, going along with that theme of Mount Rushmore, top 4 and whatnot. What's your big 4 Mount Rushmore doom metal bands?
Doom bands. Okay. Cathedral. I would put
Nice.
up there. Trouble.
Yeah.
Candlemass.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I don't. A lot of people will say Black Sabbath. I don't think Black Sabbath is a doom band. They have that element to their music. They definitely all the doom bands are ripping them off, but I wouldn't put Sabbath up there as a doom band. Let's see, one more. What did I say? I said Cathedral, Trouble, Candlemass, Crowbar. That'd be my big
Nice.
4.
And then your big 4 or your Mount Rushmore of power metal bands.
Wow. Well, Halloween's got to go up
Yep.
there for sure. Gamma Ray. That's another one. The Germans are really good at power metal, so
Yeah.
I got to put them up there as well. For me, Hammerfall goes up there too. I think that one of the cool things Hammerfall did was really like refine power metal, make it a little choppier, a little more accessible, which to me is a good thing. And that's
Yeah.
a little more meat to the riffs, not as light and fluffy as I don't like the real. a lot of my friends love Rhapsody. I just can't do it.
No
They're
Sonata
extremely
Arctica
talented.
for you?
I like Sonata. It's my old band in Canada we played a few shows with them, but
Okay.
not I wouldn't say they're in my top for power metal. Uh, so Halloween, Gamma Ray, Counterfall, mm, Age of Steel was another one. Another one my four. Yeah,
Nice, dude.
where the guy lost
Now,
his marbles.
so we were talking a little bit about home workouts and stuff, and you're ripped as hell. You're a big dude. You're buff as all hell. What brought you down that world of lifting and really strength training?
So I kind of in my 20s, you're in your 20s, you can kind of eat and drink what you want, and it doesn't really matter, kind of that kind of thing. And I was working in kitchens a lot, and you know, drinking a lot of soda, and not really eating right. And one day I just kind of looked in the mirror and I was like, man, that doesn't cut it. I was always an athlete in high school, and always was like, really athletic, and I was like, no, I don't like this. So I started, just exercising, and started really just making it a part of. I've never enjoyed it. People are always like, you must love working out. Man, I hate it. Believe me, if I can get shredded, sitting on the couch drinking whiskey and listening to records and eating chicken wings, damn right I'd be doing that every day. But you gotta go sweat it out, and
Yeah.
you gotta eat the stuff that doesn't taste so good all the time, right? So, I started doing that, and I started to get really serious a couple of years ago, and then just this year, I always was able to get like big, but never able to get ripped to get that look I wanted to get.
Yeah.
So I decided to seek some help, and I asked a buddy of mine. His name is Marco. He played in a couple of really awesome bands from Canada. He played in Blasphemy, played in a band called Tyrant's Blood, and another band called Witch's Hammer.
Very
Um,
cool.
and he is like I think he's in his 40s or 50s, and he looks like Superman. Like he is just it looks like a Greek god. So I say, hey man, he's a personal trainer too. So I said, hey man, tell me, this is what I'm doing. Tell me how I can do this better. So he just gave me a few tips on, how to lift, how to plan my routine, how to eat a little bit better. And, he, within about 2-3 months, people were like, dude, what have you been doing? Like, starting to see some serious results here. And I was like, well, sometimes you just got to reach out and ask somebody who really knows what's up, like that's, for me, like it's like with guitar or bass or any kind of instrument. Sometimes, even if you have a really good practice regime and you're really dedicated, you can really reinforce the wrong thing. So if someone giving you a little bit of advice, goes a long way.
Dude, that's cool, man. I certainly like to lift, but I am nowhere near as jacked as you are, and I haven't in a little while because gyms are not a safe place to go right now. So I should probably take you up on some of those home workout tips.
Please let me know. I'll definitely happy to share. But yeah, I do miss going to the gym, just for the fact that it's, I just I like that it keeps me motivated. It keeps me focused. But half the battle with home workouts is just actually getting off your couch and getting down to your basement or your kitchen or your backyard, and doing it. That's the whole battle.
So obviously, there's no way of seeing what's the end of all of this. Like what's the end, right? We don't know. That's the big thing is like when, who knows? Everything's unsure. In your opinion, what in the world will change due to the times that we're currently living in? Will there be changes in our behavior? Will there be changes in the way we treat each other? There will obviously be changes in probably economy for the years to come. What's going to change when we see the other side of this?
I think a lot is going to change. I mean, short term, I think in the short term, as far as people saying when's this going to end, what's going to happen, I just think we're in for a really weird 2020. It's going to be a strange year. I think we've hit this is the most locked down we're going to be. I don't think we're going to be locked down like this all year, but I definitely think that we're going to have a modified lifestyle through the rest of the year. I mean, that just is and at the very least, until we have a reliable vaccine where we can immunize people and stop this stuff from happening, I think that we're looking at living different lives a little bit. Um, but as far as long-term effects, I mean, one thing that this has shown is that we are not ready for something like this, and we really should be, because if you think about, a pandemic, a disease that's spreading really quickly via the air, via human contact, or whatever, the obvious solution is to distance yourself, right? I mean, it's simple logic. That's how we figured that out. But we have no real plan in place for that. We have no real plan for the economic fallouts. We have no contingencies in place. Our politicians are doing the best they can, but they're making this up as they go. And in what we should
It's all
have
patchwork, right?
Yeah, we should have a plan. Oh, we see something breaking out like this. It's not the first time it's happened in history. It's like the 50th. We should have a plan where it's like, this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We lock stuff down. This is the reserve fund for the economy to deal with people being out of work. We freeze mortgage, we freeze rent. We do what we got to do to beat this thing, and it should be ready to roll out. And I think if we had policy and plans and stuff ready to roll out for something like this, people would be a lot less freaked out, because we're just doing the plan. Now we're like, oh man, we're just doing this. So I think it's going to change the way we govern in that respect. We're going to hopefully start to prepare a little more. I think it's going to make, we've seen the trend socially. We've seen social distancing is the term we're using, but people are becoming more socially distant for years.
Yep.
For different reasons, due to technology, due to traffic, due to people moving out of the city, due to whatever, working more hours. But I think that this is when people realize how much they actually miss each other. And I think we're going to see people getting out to things more, because you don't really, it's like the old Cinderella song, you don't know what you got till it's gone, right? I mean, I think people didn't realize that all these great things we had, we take it for granted, and now they're not there no more. And maybe I don't see my friend down in Federal that much, but now I can't, and that really sucks, and I really should have, right? So I hopefully it's going to bring people together a little bit more, I think.
I've never wanted to like watch a shitty band play a shitty set for so much and so long. Like I just wanted to like stand there and just watch like the worst band ever and just be like, I'm experiencing live music.
Exactly. I would love to hear somebody stand there and tune their guitar on stage while their singer's trying to talk to the crowd. That would be awesome.
What are 5 things you're thankful for today, man?
Thankful for just still being here. I'm thankful for that I live with an awesome person. I get to still wake up and see her every morning.
Yeah.
I'm personally, I'm thankful, and I'm also scared, but I'm thankful that I'm in a position where I can get out there and go on the front lines and help fight this thing. That's something I am thankful for. I'm the kind of person where if there's something in danger, I'd rather me do it than someone else.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for technology. I'm really thankful that we live in the age of social media. People are passionate. I've always enjoyed social media. I know it comes with some downsides and people get annoyed by it, but I think it's one of the only things keeping us sane and keeping us together right now. I'm grateful for, we can do stuff like this. And this is how fun. Like this made my Thursday night fun rather than, sitting on the couch, like staring at the wall. This is now something that was the way to look forward to all day. And I'm thankful that there's lots of that. Again, for technology, I'm thankful that lots of bands can still release awesome music. We can still get tunes out there and provide some enjoyment for people.
Hey man, that's a good point, dude. And there's so many people that just need a little bit of distraction, dude. And that's the thing is we're all a little fucked up, and we're all a little confused, and we're all a little raw and scared and whatnot. So it's important for us to stay together and to be connected. and whether it's via online or just text your friends, text your parents. It's important for us to be apart but still together in this trying time. um, Dude, I appreciate you getting on this new Zoom app that I downloaded. We were on here for like 15 minutes trying to figure it out. I feel like we're kind of like boomers trying to figure out the kids' technology, right?
Well, I guess I'm pretty much 40, so I'm just about a boomer. I'm boomer-esque.
Boomer-esque. I like it.
Boomer
So
Junior.
Darin, dude, do you have any words for Seattle audience or the metal world before we jump into the new song?
Yeah, this is an album that we've been writing over the past year. It's an album where the lyrics are very, very positive. And this is going to be a good album for a lot of people to listen to at this time. And like the name Keepers of the Flame, like the flame is like the flame of humanity. It's that life force that is burning in all of us, and it keeps us all alive. And as long as that flame's burning, like we're still going to be here no matter what. We're going to beat this thing, and we're going to come out better on the other side. We're going to be a few less, but we're going to be stronger for it. So this album is going to be, I hope this album for everybody is kind of a beacon of light in some dark times. And I just hope that you guys enjoy it, because we've put a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of, and everything you hear on that record, man, we mean it. So we just really hope you guys like it.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. And what's this song called one more time? I'm going to let you introduce it.
As our singer Rev would say in his voice, the song is called Don't Wait for the Wizard.
Thanks a lot, Darin.
Thank you, Gav.
Hell yeah.